What if I told you the body speaks long before words ever dare to? And when attraction deepens, it becomes impossible to hide. The body reveals interest in ways that feel natural, almost effortless, especially through proximity and comfort. When someone is genuinely drawn to you, they don't need to force closeness. It happens on its own. You'll notice how the physical distance between you starts to shrink, not abruptly, but gradually. She positions herself nearer, chooses to stand or sit within your space, and does it in a way that feels easy rather than calculated. It's not about invading boundaries. It's about feeling safe enough to step inside them. Comfort plays an even deeper role here. Proximity without comfort creates tension, but when both are present, the atmosphere changes completely. Her body language becomes relaxed, shoulders loosen, posture opens, and movements feel less guarded. She's not pulling away or creating subtle barriers like crossed arms or turned angles. Instead, her body faces you more directly, signaling that she's engaged and receptive. What makes this powerful is that it often happens subconsciously. People instinctively move closer to what they enjoy and feel good around. If she consistently finds reasons to remain near you, lingering in conversations, delaying her exit, or subtly adjusting her position to stay within your presence, it reflects a deeper level of interest. It's not about one moment of closeness, but a pattern of choosing to be near you again and again. In these moments, silence can say more than words. The shared space begins to feel comfortable, not awkward. That ease is the real signal. When someone's body relaxes around you and naturally seeks proximity, it's often because, on a deeper level, they enjoy your presence and feel a genuine connection that goes beyond surface interaction. When attraction deepens, eyes and touch stop being random. They become intentional, almost deliberate in a quiet, unspoken way. It's no longer just casual glances or accidental contact. There's purpose behind it, even if it's subtle. Eye contact is one of the first things that changes. Instead of quick passing looks, her gaze begins to linger. She holds it just a second longer than necessary, creating a moment that feels charged without being obvious. Sometimes she looks away and then comes back again, as if she's drawn in without fully realizing it. That back and forth creates a silent connection, a kind of conversation that doesn't need words. You can often feel it, an intensity that stands out from normal interaction. There's also a softness in the way she looks at you. It's not sharp or distracted, it's focused and present. When someone is interested, their attention locks in. In a room full of people, her eyes find you more often than they should. That repetition is what makes it meaningful. Touch follows a similar pattern. It's no longer purely accidental. Instead, it becomes light, brief, and carefully placed, but repeated enough that it carries intention. A gentle tap on your arm during a laugh, a hand resting for a moment longer than expected, or a playful nudge that feels natural in the moment. These touches aren't forced. They flow with the interaction, making them feel genuine rather than staged. What makes both eye contact and touch powerful is their consistency. One glance or one touch might mean nothing, but when they happen again and again, in sync with positive energy and comfort, they start to form a clear signal. It's not about bold moves, it's about small, intentional actions that reveal a deeper level of interest without ever having to say it out loud. When attraction begins to grow, one of the most noticeable changes is in energy. What once felt casual, light, and somewhat scattered starts to become more focused and intentional. It's not something that's announced. It's something you feel in the way attention is given and received. In the beginning, interactions might be relaxed and easygoing, with no particular weight behind them. But as interest deepens, her energy starts to center around you. Conversations become more engaging, and she's no longer dividing her attention between multiple things. Instead, she locks into the moment with you. You'll notice she listens more closely, responds more thoughtfully, and stays mentally present rather than drifting in and out. This shift shows up in small but powerful ways. Distractions fade into the background. Whether it's her phone, other people, or the environment around you, they begin to matter less when you're part of the interaction. Her focus becomes clearer, more direct. It's not forced. It's natural, like she wants to be fully there. Her reactions also become more expressive. She laughs more genuinely, reacts more quickly, and mirrors your energy without even realizing it. There's a rhythm that develops, where both of you are tuned into each other. That kind of synchronization doesn't happen in casual connections. It comes from a deeper level of interest and engagement. Even silence starts to feel different. Instead of awkward pauses, there's a sense of ease, as if the connection itself fills the space. That's when you know the energy has shifted. It's no longer just two people talking, it's two people fully aware of each other. This kind of focus is hard to fake. When someone consistently gives you their undivided attention and their presence feels stronger, more intentional, it often signals that their interest has moved beyond surface level into something more meaningful. As attraction deepens, the way interest is expressed begins to change. Early on, signals might be more obvious: clear smiles, direct attention, or noticeable effort to engage. But over time, those obvious signs often fade into something more subtle, more refined. Instead of showing everything openly, she begins to communicate through quiet invitations that require awareness to notice. These subtle invitations aren't loud or direct. They come through small actions that create opportunities rather than demand attention. For example, she might extend a conversation just a little longer than necessary, ask questions that keep you engaged, or leave space for you to step in and respond. It's less about chasing and more about allowing. Her behavior becomes more suggestive in a calm, natural way. She might mention plans or ideas in a way that indirectly includes you without directly asking. It's an open door rather than a direct request. This kind of communication shows confidence because it trusts that you'll pick up on the signal. There's also a shift in how she responds to you. Instead of always initiating, she may pause and give you room to take the lead. This doesn't mean interest has decreased. It often means the opposite. She's inviting you to meet her halfway, to recognize the connection and act on it. These moments test awareness and confidence, not just attraction. Tone and timing also play a role. Her words might carry a double meaning, light and playful on the surface but deeper underneath. A simple comment, a smile, or a pause at the right moment can say more than something direct ever could. What makes subtle invitations powerful is their consistency and intention. They're not random. They're carefully placed signals that create space for connection to grow naturally. When obvious signs turn into these quieter gestures, it often means the interest has matured into something more intentional, where both people are invited to participate in building the connection. When it comes to understanding attraction, one of the biggest mistakes people make is overvaluing a single moment. A smile, a glance, a brief touch. On their own, these can be misleading. Anyone can have a good moment, a friendly interaction, or a passing mood that feels like something more. But real interest isn't built on isolated signals. It reveals itself through consistency over time. Consistency is what turns uncertainty into clarity. When the same behaviors repeat, when she continues to engage, continues to show attention, continues to create moments with you, that's when patterns begin to form. And patterns are far more reliable than one-time actions. They show intention, not coincidence. You might notice that she consistently makes time for you, even in small ways. She responds, she participates, she stays present. The energy doesn't disappear after one interaction. It carries forward into the next. That continuity is what separates genuine interest from temporary curiosity. It also shows in how stable her behavior is. If her signals are warm one day and completely distant the next, that inconsistency creates confusion, and usually means there's no clear intention behind it. But when her actions align over time, when her words match her behavior, and when her presence feels steady, that's when you can trust what you're seeing. Consistency also builds comfort. Repeated positive interactions remove doubt and make the connection feel natural instead of forced. You don't have to overthink every detail because the pattern speaks for itself. In the end, attraction isn't proven in a single moment. It's revealed in repetition. What happens again and again carries far more meaning than what happens once. Human connection isn't built on words alone. Long before someone admits how they feel, their body starts telling the story, quietly but clearly. When attraction grows stronger, behavior changes in ways that can't be faked. Understanding these signals isn't about guessing, it's about observing patterns, energy, and intention. Now, the speech. There's a moment when attraction stops being casual and starts becoming something deeper, something you can feel without a single word being spoken. And in that moment, the body takes over. It begins to communicate in ways that are honest, unfiltered, and impossible to rehearse. The first thing you'll notice is proximity. She finds reasons to be closer to you, not in an obvious way, but naturally. Maybe she leans in when she doesn't have to. Maybe she chooses the seat beside you when there are other options. Distance disappears, and comfort replaces it. That's not random. That's intention wrapped in subtlety. Then there's eye contact. Not the kind that comes and goes, but the kind that lingers just a second longer than normal. It's steady, focused, and sometimes paired with a slight smile that feels almost unspoken. Eyes don't lie. When someone is drawn to you, they look at you differently, as if they're not just seeing you, but feeling your presence. Touch becomes another language. Light, brief, and often disguised as accidental, but repeated enough that it no longer feels like coincidence. A hand brushing against your arm, a playful tap, a moment that lasts just a little too long. These small touches carry meaning because they break the invisible barrier most people keep intact. Her energy shifts when she's around you. You'll notice it in the way she reacts. More engaged, more alive, more present. Conversations feel different. There's a rhythm, a flow, an ease that doesn't happen with everyone else. It's not about what's being said, but how it feels when you're both in that space together. And finally, consistency. Anyone can show interest once, but when these signs repeat, when the closeness, the eye contact, the touch, and the energy all align over time, that's when it becomes real. That's when you stop guessing and start understanding. Because the truth is, the body doesn't play games. It responds to emotion honestly. And when attraction reaches a certain level, it doesn't ask for permission to show. It simply does.